Welcome back to the Fox Robbins Business Show. Come on in and sit a while. This is all, Fox Robbins is all about small business and entrepreneurship. And, it doesn't matter if you're even just thinking about your own business or you're actually jumping into it, or your business has been up and running and it's doing quite well, thank you very much, or it ain't doing so hot. And you need some redirection or improvement, whatever problem, issue, question you might have, we're here to help. And we're also pom-pommers, we're cheerleaders for small business and entrepreneurship.
I'm not wearing a skirt. I just
No skirt.
I have the legs for it.
Okay. I'm the co-host of the show, but the other co-host, this guy, believe it or not, and they say this regularly out on the street. They say this guy is incandescent. They say that he's ingenious, and aside from incandescent, he is also luminous.
Incandescent and luminous, those two go together. I actually understood those two words.
He is, Coach Robbins, and Coach, this is episode two of two on restaurant marketing.
Yep.
And you better get with it if you have a marketing plan or you don't, you've never thought about it. You have a plan, you never look at it, you don't pay attention. You better get with it because restaurant business is as tough as ever, maybe tougher.
It's tougher, I think, today.
There's more difficulties.
I mean, a lot of restaurants I see that are, borderline famous. I think, I'm almost positive that the Union Oyster House or something?
It's closed.
Yeah. It's been in business for 250 years or whatever it's been. And it's closed.
Did
Again,
somebody buy it and pick it back up?
well, somebody will buy it and reopen it and think they can change it and make money there, but restaurants close at an alarming rate, which is why, and I don't think we mentioned this in the first show, lenders don't want to touch it. A lot of lenders don't want to get in the restaurant business, period. And a plethora of banks, lenders, won't loan money on a restaurant. Now, there are hard money lenders that if you've got real estate, like you were talking about, that's good collateral, but those rates can be 10, 12%.
Yeah.
But to borrow money to open a restaurant, that's tough. That's tough to do.
You could get turned away.
Yeah, a lot of times.
Well, this episode and the previous one is about three big time strategies.
Yep.
For guest feedback.
Yep.
Getting running the restaurant. God knows having the atmosphere, the servers, and the food, and and the menu and everything else, the pricing. But you got to have guest feedback.
Right.
And so we're talking a lot about that in these two episodes.
Yep.
One thing I wanted to pick up with you is looking at guest feedback, not to get upset about one feedback, but look at
Bad feedback,
trends.
you mean? One bad?
One bad, yeah,
Yeah, right.
yeah. You get a bad. If you
Like I
get
said,
somebody who's a complainer, but look at trends.
Trends are
as to
critical, yep.
particularly about your service,
food,
service price, and unpopular, popular or unpopular, menu items.
Sure. Or maybe you eliminated a popular menu item that people go there for, and maybe you ought to think about putting it back on the menu, right?
This episode too, Coach, we're going to ask you a lot about managing feedback,
right?
Or getting it and managing it,
right? Well, the first thing to do to manage it is to get it.
There's a thing called Toast Guest Feedback Tool.
Yep.
And a thing called on Toast, or on Toast Go.
Yep.
Whatever, as a trademark.
Right.
Whatever, thumbs up, or thumbs down.
Yeah, I go thumbs up, thumbs down instead of 5 stars or whatever. Yelp gives you stars, as does several of the sites will give you 5-star rating, 4-star. Give you that choice instead of just thumbs up, thumbs down.
Well, this Toast Guest Feedback Tool. What have you heard about that?
I get an email every day, practically, from Toast, giving advice about how to run your restaurant, how to check your point of sale system, how calculate your cost of goods sold. It's a restaurant-focused tool
So
that every restaurant should.
So if
be
you don't,
involved.
if
You got to get it.
if you're watching this show and you don't have that,
You got to go get it.
Okay.
You got to get it for sure.
okay, and you get a thumbs up or a thumbs down, you get there's a checkbox
Yep.
feature and text to the manager
Yep.
on that.
Yep. You can send
Okay.
texts, everything. It's a great tool.
Now, the next comment here is responding. You said in the episode number 1, respond to negative feedback.
Just don't leave it hanging there. And 99% of the time, even today, here we are 15 years into heavy online reviews and what goes on in the business world, period. I look at it and I see totally unresponded negative comments. And like I say, I will read the negative comments. A lot of times I think they're lame, quite frankly.
Yeah.
But they need to be dealt with. They need to deal with negative comments because people are looking, it's ruining your 5-star rating anyway, but deal with it in a and we'll talk about how to deal with it. That's the most important thing, but you got to deal with it. You can't just leave it hang there.
Okay. Well, speaking of dealing with it, apology, special offer, ask for a positive comment, or whatever. What are those items?
Absolutely, even if you know it's the customer fault. Did you ever hear the expression that the customer is always right? That's wrong. Sometimes the customer's wrong.
Yeah.
But you could do some stupid things if you're not apologetic, respectful of that customer's opinion. But you need to deal with that opinion, okay? Is that customer necessarily right? No, not necessarily, to be perfectly honest with you, but you still have to deal with it because the other people looking at it are saying, how are you going to deal with it? Customer makes a bad comment, you need to go online and say, I apologize for whatever it is they're complaining about. Mm-hmm. Please give me a call, right, directly, and I would like to make it up to you by offering you a free dessert or something, you know.
Special offer.
Something. You got to be careful with the special offer thing too, because sometimes it looks like bribery, but you just need, the point I want to make more than any other point is deal with it politely, respectfully, but deal with it. Don't just leave it hang there.
Well, you might have someone who's whining and complaining who likes to do that.
There are people who love to complain.
Who just complain. You know,
absolutely, just for the sake of complaining.
And to get a free meal out of you.
Well, maybe. If they can do that, they'd love it, you know. But you got to deal with those things. You can't just leave them hanging out there. Like I say, I'm shocked at how many times I see bad comments and there's nothing from the owner of the restaurant, you know.
You can also, the owner can ask for positive comment on Yelp. How do you do that?
Same way. Talk to your customers and ask them, did you enjoy the meal? What did you enjoy about it? If you get a chance, if you could give us a positive review, I would even give a card and say, here, do you have the Yelp app?
Yeah.
Well, here, go to Yelp and we'd appreciate your comment. I'm glad you were happy.
Yeah.
Because let's face it, what you're trying to create in any business is evangelists for your company. These are free salespeople.
Right.
They're out there repeating the great experience they had at ABC restaurant. Don't use that name, it's a terrible name. But, you know, they're happy. Again, then ask them to please. Because as I said in show number 1, research shows that people are 9 times more likely to leave a bad review than a good review. Mm-hmm. So ask for good reviews too. Right. Okay, we're happy. I love it. Could you give us a review on Yelp if you get a chance? Appreciate it, you know. And if you do that, bring this in, and maybe I'll give you a free dessert or some simple little thing. You got to be careful with the rewards too, because that can get a little touchy.
I want to bring up a point to you is that we've got all the social media, Facebook, Instagram, and the all this other stuff. But this is what we want to ask you, Coach, is that the author we're dealing with here says email still reigns supreme.
Absolutely.
Don't email. You think that's Middle Ages? No, email is still in the game.
Email is still more powerful. Permission marketing is still big, not spam. All right, and I don't mean spam meaning the food product, right?
Yeah.
But absolutely, you should be capturing people's email if they're willing to give it to you the minute they are in your building. As a matter of fact, on the receipt for that restaurant I mentioned in Newport in the first show, I believe it was, they ask if you would like, please give us your email and we'll keep you up to date on any special changes in menu, whatever. And I'll give them the email.
Actually, email or text today.
Or you can give me a phone number. You
text.
Sure, you can give me a phone number. They can text you, your cell phone number, of course. Yeah, absolutely. But you want to be in touch with your client base.
A message. The author recommends a message at the top of all digital receipts.
Absolutely.
Like, thank you for coming. Hope you enjoyed it. Yes.
Right. Absolutely. And did you enjoy the food? How was the waiter? How was the service? You know, ask specific questions.
On the top of the
right
receipt.
at the top. Say we would appreciate, you know, there are restaurants, many chain restaurants now are doing everything electronically. I know the 99 does it. They actually just give you their iPad or iPhone on the board, and you're putting it right in there and, you know, signing it right online. Everything's online now. Yeah. But if it's not, nice piece of paper works just fine. And give them a pen too.
Or another message, you know, to your guests. We always aim to provide the best service. Please post us online.
Absolutely.
Request on the receipt, and please reply to our email.
Yep. And once you've collected, which you should, the email for anybody that's willing to give it to you, and then don't blind them every day with something, but, you know, maybe once a week, send them a comment, or you're not selling anything, you're just touching, you know, touching the client or the customer.
And another question is, are your guests checking out? Are they checking out with Toast kiosk? Or online ordering? That's another online tool these days, or two. Toast kiosk or online ordering.
Yep.
And they have automatic facility.
Yep.
With those, you know, to comment, right?
Right. Yep.
Or hand out, distribute review request cards.
Yep.
You said earlier, you talked about a restaurant that would give you a...
They gave you a piece of paper that you could fill out right there, okay? I like the fact of giving somebody a postage paid card that says, if you get a chance, if you fill this out and drop it in the mail, there's going to be drawing for free meals or something like that at the end of the month. And that way the customer can take the card home, fill it out. Gee, that was a great meal, great service, love this place. Fill it out, throw it in the mailbox, and, you know, have an opportunity to win maybe a free meal for two or something like that.
How did we do?
Yeah.
Give us feedback, and give us feedback on Facebook or Yelp.
Exactly.
Ask your customers to go to.
Ask them. Tell them specifically. Go to Yelp. Go to TripAdvisor, whatever, any of these sites. But just give us, because you, like I say, a customer who's unhappy is 9 or 10 times more likely to give you a bad review than a customer that's very happy with you. So ask for the good ones too.
Well, I'm asking you questions. These are all aimed at turning a compliment into a review.
You bet.
I mean, when the person leaving the restaurant gives you a compliment, that's great, but it evaporates. It goes.
Yeah,
into
because
the
you and I are the only people, the customer and you, the only. You say, thanks for coming to my restaurant. Hope you enjoyed your time with us. We aim to give you the best service, and if you could, here's a card, fill it out, you know, go online, says right on the card, go online, rate us on Yelp, or return this card to us.
Always ask for a review online.
Always ask for a review.
These days.
Absolutely, because that's what everybody else is out there looking at. Only one person's going to read that card when it comes back, and that's you.
But also you're at it, you know, you project an attitude, you're courteous, and you are transparent.
Yep. Absolutely, and you want to do that. I've told you in the past that my company, I sold electrical products, and I had my business card. On the back of my business card, in red, was printed a phone number, and it was a one-line phone. My, PBX that came into the company that spread calls all over the building. This is a separate phone number, and it was on my desk. And I said, my customers, particularly the better customers, if you have any problem with my company, I want you to call me directly, because I'm going to take care of it right away. And sometimes I think when you do that, you're creating, I know you are, you're creating trust with a company, with a customer, and if something goes wrong and you take care of it right away, builds even more trust.
Well, did
They
you
know
actually
that
answer the phone when it came?
I would answer the phone. If I'm sitting at my desk, I will answer the phone. I shuddered when that little red phone rang, but if I got in and the light was blinking and I had a message, I dealt with it immediately. I want to take care of these bad reviews, and that's what we're talking about online now. There was no online then. Take care of the bad reviews.
Be courteous, be transparent.
Always be courteous. Right, absolutely.
And find good feedback. Find good feedback that already exists.
Yep.
By like reviewing, looking at Yelp, Facebook, TripAdvisor, Google,
Yep.
or whatever, finding feedback that's already out there.
Yep.
That you didn't know about.
Right.
Right? Okay. And review your monitoring tools. And now this is an item, Coach. Make use of review management tools.
Mm-hmm.
Is there such a thing? I mean, now you can
yeah.
get online a computer app that will survey reviews.
Right. Absolutely. You want to pay attention. The bottom line to all this is pay attention.
Yeah.
Pay attention to what's going on out there. Keep an ear.
So now you can get computer help.
You can get all kinds of help. Absolutely.
That will review and
That's
will
right.
track review. Look at the
I'm following Cliff Robbins,
Uh-huh.
whoever he is. Okay. And quite frankly, I'm Cliff Robbins, and I do get things that are published about me online, and I will get an email. Cliff Robbins did this, Cliff Robbins said that, Cliff Robbins. But I also get Cliff Robbins down in Connecticut, who is a venture capitalist who's worth hundreds of millions of dollars, and I see all the different companies he's buying and selling, and
Yeah.
I'm following Clifton Robbins, wishing I were he, right? So yeah, I mean, check, make sure you know what's going on, what's being said about you out there.
And there are today on the computer, there are such things as social listening tools.
Yep.
Reviews from the social media, from Facebook, from Instagram, from Pinterest, and
Yep.
Yelp and Google, and
All
this stuff,
available.
and blogs. These blogs are a fact of life today.
See what people are saying about you? Right.
Right.
Restaurant blogs particularly.
And all of this is aimed at growing your brand loyalty. And what you want to do is you want to make use of any social media praise that you get, like your favorite dishes.
Yep.
Restaurants and photos. Okay. Instagram ready to go on social media. So you want to comment. You want to take positive action and comment on a favorable post.
Yep.
Thank that person. Ask for permission to repost.
Yes.
And give credit, on a photo if there's a photo involved.
Yep.
All of this
Right.
stuff.
And people love that because they're going to get an email too that says, "Thank you for the comment you put on your Facebook page. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
We published it on our site,
Right.
and yes, we are going to put the prime rib back on the menu because you showed us the error of our ways
Yeah.
for taking it off," or things like that.
Now, Coach, the author pays focus and pays particular attention to tourists.
Yep.
People coming in, coming to your restaurant from out of town, not your local regulars, but people coming from out of town. So consider those tourists. And, tourists are maybe more likely to make an optimistic review visiting, your restaurant.
Yeah, because they're in a good mood anyway. They're spending the day at the beach. They're not frustrated at work or whatever. So, yeah, especially on areas like Cape Cod, which is so heavy into tourism in July and August particularly,
Yeah.
that, every restaurant on the Cape is going to be busy in July and August. That's not how they survive, purely. They have to survive the other 10 months of the year, too. But, yeah, get those people, while you're busy, giving you those good reviews, too. That raises your, average of the number of stars on your site.
Okay. One thing the author says, though, Coach, is as a rule of thumb, beware of giving incentives for reviews.
Yeah, don't give.
If you give me a positive review, I'll give you.
You got to be careful that you don't overdo it, because then you're buying good reviews. You know,
that might.
It's touchy, but
that might kick back on you.
Yeah, just got to be careful how you do it. Like I say, if you get a card or something and say, look, you're going to go into a drawing and 2 free meals. You know, we draw once a week or once a month, and thank you for giving us a review. You're not saying give me a good review. You're saying give us a review. And this card goes into a hat, and we pull them out Saturday night.
Well, the author says that it's unethical to what amounts to a bribe, right?
Well, you got to be careful with all the legal stuff. But
there's a FTC, a Federal Trade Commission regulation.
But believe me, the FTC is not going to come down on you. Too small. But that is true.
Yeah,
that is true.
So you got to watch out for
watch out what you give and how you do it.
You request a positive review, but bribing people to give you a review is
it's not bribery, right? You just got to make sure it doesn't look like bribery.
Yeah. Okay.
Like I say, give us a review. I'm not saying give us a positive review, but like we already said, 9 out of 10 people that felt positively about your restaurant didn't give you a review. So just say, give me a review. We appreciate it. Your card goes in. If it's negative, you still go in.
Right. Well, the takeaway from these two episodes and what all the questions we've been asking you is, first and foremost, you're a restaurateur, have a guest feedback plan.
It's critically.
Don't ignore it. Don't not informal. Not sometimes, and not others. Have a guest feedback plan. Maybe a lot of restaurant people don't like that. That's a pain in the neck.
Well, that's too bad if you think it's a pain in the neck, but you should have it. You know, I think the mistake that I made 20 years ago, further than that, is that I should have had a gold phone on the desk along with a red phone.
Yeah.
I thought of this before, that I should be saying to people, if you have a problem, you call this number in red. I personally will see, I had a $22 million company with 100 employees, but I'm going to make sure it gets squared away for you.
Yeah.
And also, if you're really happy about something, please call the gold phone, right? Mm-hmm. I didn't do that. But that's what we're saying here is get the people to give you reviews, because most of them, hopefully, or you're really running a bad business.
Yeah.
There's not a lot of bad businesses out there that, are doing everything wrong, because they go out of business fast.
Yeah.
We're talking about good businesses, but every once in a while they get a bad review. Try, as you say, to get more and more people to review you, right, because most of them, hopefully, for your business would be good reviews, and that raises the number of stars you got. That pushes the negative review down. There's so many good things that can happen, right, by asking for and getting good reviews from customers who are happy with you.
But it's a plan means that action is taking place.
Yes.
On a regular basis.
Yes.
Not just with you, the owner, but also your
everybody. I want my waiters and my wait staff to be doing it. I want the bartender to be doing it. I want everybody who's in touch with a customer. Maybe even the bellboy. They're picking up the dirty dishes.
Yeah.
Maybe not him, but definitely anybody who's coming in contact with a customer, say, here, fill out the card, or here's a special sheet of paper like they were doing in Newport. If you'd fill this out, appreciate it. And they weren't giving us anything for that, but I sat there, gave them all 10s, and like I said, the last question on the piece of paper was, if you owned this restaurant, what would you change to make it better? Oh, that was a great question. My answer was, nothing.
So the takeaway, having a feedback plan means receiving feedback and managing it, dealing with it.
Yep.
Mainly on a regular basis.
Regular, like clockwork, every day, not once a month, not once a week, every single day.
But
you should be doing
both
that.
Good and bad.
Especially the bad.
You don't
but
like
both
the
good
bad. People make bad comments.
Of course, deal with it.
Are your feelings hurt?
Right. Mine aren't. But I've always gone by the sales formula, SW cubed over N.
Yeah. And then take action, spring to action on that. And now, today, we never had this we never had this even 5, 10, 15 years ago. There's the support now that you get on this on the computer, and the handheld computers and the tablets and the PCs.
Yeah, everything's mobile today.
But now you've got computer support, to manage feedback that you've been mentioning, throughout the show.
Half hour of your time every day should be spent in the restaurant business monitoring.
Well, if
every
you're a
company's
restaurant,
doing, not just restaurants.
For advice on this feedback, where would you go? Are there articles or training or articles online or books or pamphlets that you should get? Or
everything's online.
Yeah.
If you have a question, go Google. You will find white papers. You will find YouTube videos like this one, who can teach you how to do almost anything. Everything's online today. I sit there and I've got Alexa in my office, it's not Alexa, it's Google. I say, okay, Google, and I ask Google a question. Rarely does Google not have an answer for me. On occasion, she will say, I'm sorry, I don't have an answer for that. But rarely. Everything's online today.
Okay, we've been talking about restauranting and encouraging, seeking, and managing, feedback. And this is episode 2 of two episodes on this topic. All of the Fox Robbins episodes are uploaded
to YouTube. Like everything else. Second biggest search engine in the world.
Everything is on YouTube. Go to YouTube. There's a search box. Just type in a single word, Fox Robbins, FOXROBBINS, single word, and click on it. And then there's a library, and you can go through and pick and choose topics that are of current interest, and view them at your own time and convenience. And we will see you guys next time.